What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Variety Sports Network. This is our 2026 NFL Wild Card Weekend preview and prediction. So, I'll give you my preview of each game along with picks and scores and whatnot of where I think the Wild Card Weekend. It's full of a lot of great games, a lot of rivalry games, a lot of little bit kind of revenge games, and a few matchups that could flip the entire postseason upside down. We're going to talk about every game, all six of them. With some key storylines, along with along with making our picks too. So let's get into it. We're gonna talk about our first game of the day, which is today here in a couple hours between the Los Angeles Rams and the Carolina Panthers. Um, just got some stats up here for you. I think this game is on paper. This game is 100% in favor of the Los Angeles Rams. You're looking at a team who's first in passing in the league, second in receiving, along with first in points, seventh in rushing as well. Along on the defensive side of the ball, they're sixth in their interception in the interceptions in the league. I mean, you're looking at a team with total defensive sacks of 47, which is seventh in the league. Total defensive interceptions of 16. They have a total turnover point differential of plus 10. So you're looking at a Los Angeles Rams team that has had a pretty good season from the standpoint across the board. I mean, on the other side, though, these two teams have played once already this season. With Carolina getting that big win, 30-27, I think it was earlier in the season, in Carolina, which is where this game is. Carolina's hosting a playoff game for the first time in it's been what since 2017 is the first time Carolina's been in the playoffs. So it's been a while, or 2019. So it's been a while since the Carolina Panthers have been in the NFL playoffs, and they get a match against the Los Angeles Rams here. So some of my key matchups for this one, you're looking at the Rams passing game versus the Panthers young secondary. The other big thing is that can the Panthers control the tempo of the game? And that's the one way they're going to get a win. That's the way they got their win. The first time these two teams played, it didn't help that Matt Stafford had 2 interceptions in that game as well. So it wasn't a great game for Matt Stafford on top of things. So we'll see what happens. You're looking at the Carolina Panthers, who are ranked 26th in the league in passing, 27th in receiving, and 27th in overall points. Defensively, though, they're not awful. They're not an awful team. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix a glare. I don't like the glare, but it's fine. It's whatever. It's a Carolina Panthers team that's 8-9 that snuck into the playoffs thanks to the little help from the New Orleans Saints, I think, is who got the win over Atlanta the other week to help get them into the playoffs this year. So, you're looking at a team, two teams that are on complete opposite ends of the stat spectrum, I should say. But these two teams have played before. They played before. Carolina got the win. Don't see that happening this time. But I could be wrong. My X factor in this one, give me Matt Stafford in a hostile playoff road environment. I think he's going to make or break this game for the Rams and the Panthers. He'll either play really good, or he's gonna throw 2 or 3 interceptions early to give Carolina an opportunity to pull off a huge upset to change the whole outlook of the playoffs in the NFC and who could win the Super Bowl, because I have the Rams as a Super Bowl contender for this season. So we'll see what happens. I still think the Rams win. I think the Rams get a 28-17 win over the Carolina Panthers today in Charlotte. I think it'll be a good game for the most part, but LA is going to pull out that win late in the game to secure a win, in my opinion. We'll see what happens, though. Crazier things have happened. It is wild card weekend for a reason. So we'll see. But give me the Rams to get a 28-17 win over the Carolina Panthers. I don't know why I blanked on the name there. Looking at our next game, it should be a heck of a game. It sounds like it's going to be an absolute snowstorm. So weather could play a big factor in this game as well between the Bears and the Packers. Um, you're looking at two teams that are I wouldn't say even, more more separated than we think. You're looking at the Green Bay Packers, who are 17th in passing, 18th in receiving, and 16th in total points on the season. With the Bears, defensively, they're one of the stronger defenses in the National Football League. Looking at the first team overall, um, in defense, and when it comes to interceptions, um, they're 22nd in total team sacks, so not great, but they have a point total turnover differential of plus 22, which is where that was one of my things for this game. So if I'm looking at a key reason the Bears get a win is due to their turnover differential when it comes to the playoffs. How many times can they get the Green Bay Packers to turn the ball over? Um, I mean, you're looking at a huge division rival game here in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. The Bears Packers in Chicago. You can't get any better than that. You really can't. This is one of my favorite games to watch of the season. The last two times these two teams played, it was that overtime, fantastic game from both teams. Um, Chicago has a lot of momentum going into this one, but Green Bay has nothing to lose at the same time. They really don't. They don't have anything to lose. Where I think we'll see some things, it's going to be cold. It's going to be snowy. There's going to be you possibly see a lot of turnovers in this one. And like I mentioned, that's where I think this is going to be. You're looking at um, how well can the Bears defense play, versus the Packers quarterback play. Can Jordan Love, find those little spots to get things through to the Packers wide receivers? And then another key matchup thing that I have here is that can the Bears handle the pressure as being the favorites in this one? They're second seed overall in the NFC. This should be a great game. I like the Bears in this one as well. I like the 24. I think it's close. I think it's a close game, and it could be a little more low scoring than I think it might than what I have. Um, it is my points. Where I think the score would be, if that makes sense. Um, it, this is just it's gonna be a good game. It really is. It really is. You're looking at, again, two division teams. Give me a 24-20 win for the Chicago Bears to move on to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. I think this one could go either way, though. You got to have a lot of playoff experience on the Green Bay Packers side, which I think could come into effect here in this one. You're looking at a Chicago Bears team who hasn't been there before, a quarterback who hasn't been there before. The Bears do have a really good running game, which I think could throw a little bit of factor into this one, depending on the weather. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I like the Bears to get a win, though, over the Packers today, or this evening, tonight, whatever. 6 o'clock, 7:30 game, something like that, 7:15. So we'll see. We'll see. Moving on to the next one here. I got the we'll jump over to the no, that's not what I want. We'll jump over to the Eagles 49ers game that's tomorrow. Um, this should be a good one. Two NFC heavyweights, two teams that are easily win the Super Bowl this year. Feels like a conference championship level type of game in the wild card round. Easily could have seen these two teams facing off for that chance to go to Super Bowl 60 in the NFC championship game. Now, I could be wrong there, but I think that's where this type of game is. We saw last week when San Francisco played that they did not play great against Seattle. They did not. They offensively they did not look great. It, it's going to be tough. If you look at stats wise, I mean, you got San Francisco, who's fifth in passing, versus 23rd in passing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams, it's complete opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to their passing. The Eagles have seemed to struggle to find a passing game this year, my opinion. But you're looking at two teams that don't have a very good rush. they also have sketchy defense. I mean, I wouldn't say the Eagles have a sketchy defense. The Eagles have a pretty solid defense. They're probably one of the better defensive teams of the weekend. I mean, you're looking at a team that has they're +6 in the turnover differential. They have 12 total defensive interceptions, 42 total defensive sacks um, on the game or on the season too. So it just, I mean, truly just depends on, what kind of 49ers team are we going to see? Are we going to see the same one that we saw against Seattle um, last week, or are we going to see a Seattle or a San Francisco team that can put up some points like they did against Chicago? But you're looking at a pretty stout defense in the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't know. We'll see. Give me my key matchups in this one. You got the 49ers skill players versus the Eagles linebackers. That linebacker core for the Eagles, the defensive front for the Eagles is pretty solid. After that, it's eh. Um, and it's kind of the same way on the Eagles side. If you're on the Eagles, you gotta watch the 49ers pass rush. That's about all they got. They have a pretty good the 49ers have a pretty solid pass rush, but secondary of the 49ers isn't great. They allow a lot of passing yards throughout the season. So this is going to be a game of whoever wins in the trenches between the Eagles and 49ers. Now, I think this game could be a little lower scoring than they think. So, but I have a 28-27 win for the San Francisco 49ers. I think this is a good game. It's a close game throughout the whole thing. Um, I like the Eagle. I like the Eagles. I think they're a good team, but I think San Francisco is just going to be just a tad better um, than the 49ers. So give me the 49ers to get a 28-27 win. Last minute field goal gets it for the 49ers to move on to the divisional round of the NFC playoffs. But hey, who knows? Let me know what you think. Let us know what you think. The first three playoff matches are all NFC games. After that, it's all AFC, which is how we broke it down here today. Um, so we'll talk about the next one here. Just some more two really good teams. Two really good teams that I think both of these teams have a really good shot of getting to Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. Um, I like Buffalo. I like Jacksonville. I think they've both done a really good job. And I've talked to multiple people throughout the week that I mentioned if this is any year for Josh Allen to win a Super Bowl, it's this year. There's no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow, no Patrick Mahomes. Um, this is a year for Josh Allen to win a Super Bowl. Now, offensively, they struggled. Defensively, they're a pretty good team. I like both of these. This is again just like the the San Francisco Eagles game. This is a potential could have been a potential AFC Championship match, in my opinion. You're looking at Josh Lawrence versus Trevor Lawrence. It's a game in Jacksonville. Really looking forward to this one. Uh, Two teams that have played really well. You have a really good defense on the Jacksonville side of things. They're sixth in points on the season. They're second in interceptions in the league. Um, so I think this will be a great game. You're looking at a team that has 22 total defensive interceptions. Their turnover differential for the Jacksonville Jaguars is +13. 32 defensive sacks, so their front isn't as powerful or strong as some of the other teams that we see in the playoffs, but the secondary is pretty good. The secondary is pretty good. Second overall in interceptions in the league. Josh Allen turns the ball over a lot, so we'll see. I think he does. Throws a lot of bad passes, which causes interceptions. Um, we'll see. So my key matchups for this one, you're looking at the Bills quarterback mobility versus Jaguars pass rush as well in this one. Plus, you have the Jaguars balance, so they're good offense on both sides of the ball in the run game, in the passing game. They're more balanced than any team we probably will see in the playoffs this year. So I like Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville to get a win. X factor though is going to be red zone efficiency. Jacksonville can score. Buffalo is going to have to keep up with them. I think this is going to be more of a shootout style game than we think, and this could be the highest scoring game of the weekend as well. I have a 27-24 win for the Jacksonville Jaguars, though. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher of a match. And then you're going to throw that question in there of, is Josh Allen the guy for Buffalo? Can he get it done? And we keep talking about head coaches getting fired. If Buffalo loses tomorrow in Jacksonville, I think Sean McDermott's gone. I think he'll be out. He'll be packing his bags for somewhere else. I don't think you mean the guy has done everything that he's guy's done everything he can so far to get Buffalo to where they need to. They're going to have somebody else that could take them over the edge to the next step. And if Jacksonville beats Buffalo, I truly do think Sean McDermott's gone. But we'll see what happens. But I got the Jaguars getting a big 27-24 win over the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Let me know what you think. This is probably my favorite game of the week. Without a doubt, my favorite game of the week. That I'm definitely looking forward to. So we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who gets a win here, Jacksonville or Buffalo? Moving on to our next one of the week. We got two more here for you as well. And let me know if you appreciate the stat graphics as well. It's something that we're trying to do better here at VSN across the board, from a variety of our different shows that we do have as our graphic packages. This is something new, different little look for our NFL wildcard preview round here. So our next matchup that I'm looking at is the Los Angeles Chargers against the New England Patriots, and I don't see any way. The Los Angeles Chargers offense is too inconsistent for me. They have a really solid defense, but I don't think they can get it done offensively against the New England Patriots. I don't think they can keep up with the Patriots, is what I should mean. Could potentially be one of the lowest scoring round games. There's one more game, though, that could be low, that could see the lowest score, and I could see either of those teams winning 9-6 or 6-7, anything like that. So talking about this one, though, Justin Herbert in the playoffs against a very disciplined New England Patriots team that's going to thrive on mistakes from the Los Angeles Chargers, and it's a Los Angeles Chargers team that I wouldn't say has a lot of mistakes, but offensively, they're not good. They're 18th in passing, 15th in receiving, 12th in rushing. It's not that they're too inconsistent. The Chargers are too inconsistent to me on offense to go deep into the playoffs. Defensively, I think they could get there, which, defense wins championships at the same time. But I don't think they get there. I don't think they get past New England. Looking at the Chargers passing attack, key matchup wise, I'm looking at the Chargers passing attack versus the Patriots coverage, Patriots secondary. Yeah, that's fair. We had Slater and Joe Alt. Yeah, I'd give him a chance, but since Joe Alt went down, that offensive line has not looked good. Offensively, they have not been the same team as well. So and my other key matchup thing is, can New England force Justin Herbert into errors? Not 100% absolute. I think they do. You're looking at two experienced coaches in Jim Harbaugh. I got the Harbaughs mixed up. Yeah, it's Jim against Vrabel's defense. So situational football is going to matter here. Unfortunately, you have to look at the stat side of things as well when it comes to situational football. I like the Patriots, though, to get a win. Aaron, thanks for tuning in, by the way. I appreciate it. I like the Patriots to get a 24-13 win over the Los Angeles Chargers. As much as I think we could, I don't want to say that this could have been an AFC championship, but it could have been if things rolled the right way. You got Denver, who's still in the mix of things as well, who, see what happens there. with the Broncos. But I got the Patriots getting a 24-13 win over the Chargers. Give me a big defensive interception towards the end of the game to kind of seal the deal for the New England Patriots. And Drake May continues his MVP run for the Patriots. We'll talk about our last game here, which is on Monday night. We're a little surprised here. I'm surprised. I shouldn't say I'm surprised. This is a good. This should be a really good game. Two really good defensive teams. In the in the not the Chargers, but the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Pittsburgh gets the home game because they had more because they won their division, even though Houston is 12-5. Houston playing really good football for a long time now, for a while. Yeah, you beat me to the punch, Aaron. You beat me to the punch. I agree. Houston ends Rodgers' final playoff game. I 100% I agree with you there. Should be a good game. You're looking at a young Texans offense, though, who has just been. I mean, they've played really well over the last several weeks. I mean, they're playing some of the best football across the NFL, in my opinion, on both sides of the ball. You're looking at a team that's 14th in passing, 14th in receiving, 13th in points on the season. Their rushing game isn't great, which could cause them some issues this weekend. But you're looking at a Steelers team who's 26th in rushing as well, 22nd in receiving, in passing is 22nd as well, 15th in points. So these teams are a little more even than we think. I like the Houston Texans, though. I think both of these teams are really good across, on both sides of the ball. You're looking at Houston, who's 47. Their time of possession is 31 minutes, 48 seconds per game. They're putting up, 28 points a game to Pittsburgh's 23.4 points per game. So that's 15th in the league. Time of possession, though, might be the big difference here. Total defense. I mean, these teams are almost dead. No, I wouldn't say dead even, but they're really close to the same mark on a lot of stat categories. Pittsburgh 6th in total defensive sacks. Houston 7th. Pittsburgh in total defensive interceptions has 15. Houston has 19. Total turnover differential, you're looking at plus 17 for Houston, plus 12 for Pittsburgh. So it's going to be a good game. Should be a back and forth game, but it's probably going to be the lowest scoring game of the weekend, which is fine. Defense wins championships. We've talked about that before. And I could see the Houston Texans getting a very, very good opportunity to make their way to the AFC Championship, and I wouldn't mind seeing it. It's just the same thing with Buffalo. Same thing as Buffalo for Josh Allen. If CJ Stroud's going to get a chance to play in a Super Bowl, to get to the Super Bowl, it's this year. Key matchups, though, is CJ Stroud against the Steelers pass rush. How well can he handle himself in that pressure? And can Houston protect the football? You're looking at a really good Steelers defense who's going to battle it out throughout the whole game. Pittsburgh's defense, I think, could cause some late game chaos, but at the end of the day, I think I had this backwards. No, I did not. I'm sorry, Aaron. I picked the freaking Steelers to win 16-13. 16-13 Pittsburgh. I thought I picked Houston. Where I think the difference is Aaron Rodgers' experience in the playoffs. As much as that is as old as he is, guy's been to Super Bowls, he's won Super Bowls. He's going to do just enough to get a win. Now, while I do think that it could happen that the Steelers could lose and that the Houston Texans could win, this could be the opposite a score here. Hey, neither are Oregon's quarterbacks. Shout out to Indiana. Shout out Kirk Cignetti, getting a huge win last night, by the way. Playoff experience has a lot to do with this at the same time. Um, I like Houston. I do think they have a good chance if they can get past Pittsburgh, which I think is a little bit of a could be a trap game for them. I think Pittsburgh. I think, and honestly, would not be surprised if Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers go on a little bit of a run, surprise some people, and make it to the AFC Championship game. Depending on how some of these other games work out, maybe, maybe. Let me know what you think, folks. I got Pittsburgh 16-13 in the low scoring game. Lowest scoring game of the weekend. I know it sounded like I was going to pick Houston. Gotcha. Anyways, thanks for joining us, tuning in this morning. I appreciate it. Give me a little rapid fire segment here, and I want to hear from you. My best game of the weekend: 49ers Eagles. Easily 49ers Eagles. My upset pick of the week: give me the Eagles or the 49ers over the Eagles as well. Most pressure team that has the most pressure: Buffalo. They have the most pressure to win. They're playing a really good. I hate to say it for the Buffalo fans, but y'all kind of got a gypped in this wild card round here. They have to play a Jacksonville team who's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. So yeah, I think the most pressure is on Buffalo. I don't know who else it would be on. Maybe Green. No, Buffalo. Most pressure is on Buffalo. Dark horse Super Bowl team to win it. Chicago. Chicago's my dark horse Super Bowl team, at least to get there. I don't know about winning it. Team no one wants to face in the next round. Depends on what matchup I'm looking at. If I'm Seattle or I'm Denver, if I'm Seattle, I don't want to play San Francisco or LA. I don't want to play either of those two teams. If I'm Denver, I don't want to play Jacksonville, and I don't want to play Buffalo. So if I'm Denver, I don't want to play Jacksonville. Yeah, if I'm Denver, I don't want to play Jacksonville. My lock of the week: New England over LA, over the Chargers. There we go. That's all I got for you. Went a little longer than I expected, which is fine. Don't mind it at all. Hope you enjoyed our full 2026 NFL wildcard preview and picks. Let us know your winners, who's your lock of the week, who's your upset of the week. Run through our rapid fire questions there at the end. What team you think is about to make a deep run? I think it could be Chicago or Pittsburgh. Chicago or Pittsburgh. Make sure you like, subscribe, share as well. We'll be back for full divisional round coverage as well, along with my picks. Been doing this all week, all NFL season long for the most part. So we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And have fun. Enjoy the games today. We'll see you next week.